Hey everybody, hello and good evening, greetings. Alright, we are about to enter the beautiful state of Illinois. We are currently still on the Indiana side, but wait for it. Alright, we should see a sign here that says, "Welcome to Land of Lincoln." Illinois welcomes you. There it is. Okay, we're gonna take the bypass tonight. We're gonna take the 294. Even though Thomas wants us to go downtown, I don't feel like going through downtown. By the way, once again, today it is Wednesday, October 25th, 2017. We got 166 miles to Madison, Wisconsin. Here's a very interesting topic that somehow floated around my head. I know I have said this many times before, but it seems that there's a lot of you out there that are new to the channel, and first and foremost, welcome and thank you. Welcome to the community, JBG Travels community channel. Before I get ahead of myself here, everybody knows that the star of the show is not me, but Tampers and Baby Blue. They're the star of the show. I'm just an actor, haha. A really bad one. A really bad one at that. And I'm sure everybody will agree with that. Wow, look at that car. Had to be doing at least 100 miles an hour. At least. Alright, I get this question a lot. Where I was born, what my ethnicity is, and all that stuff. I was born and raised in the Philippines, in the city of Cagayan de Oro City. That is located in Mindanao. And our local dialect is called Bisaya. Bisaya and Visayas is different. Bisaya is Mindanao, Visaya is Cebuano. I was born to a Filipina mom, and I was also born to a German American. My father was born and raised in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and make the story short, as soon as he was old enough to go, well, in his younger days, he sailed the Great Lakes as a sailor, a mariner, not the one in the Navy. My dad was never in the armed forces. My dad was born in a very wealthy family, but for some reason my dad was the black sheep of the family. Instead of him wearing coat and tie and all that high pollutant society, my dad would rather be out in the garage taking apart machineries and making things explode. And he was born with a silver spoon, but he was also a grease monkey. Literally, at their time, my dad's family was one of the richest families in Wisconsin. And between his mom and his dad, oh man, they were the high pollutant societies. But my dad, as I said, even though he was born with a silver spoon, he couldn't shake the fact that he was a grease monkey. So anyway, when he was old enough, he became a sailor around the Great Lakes. And when he was old enough to go on the high seas, he became a sailor overseas in the ocean. And he sailed around the world for a few years, from a deckhand all the way to chief engineer. He landed in the Philippines. He jumped off ship. That's basically just saying he quit shipping and just never went back. My dad lived in the Philippines for about a grand total of about 45 years, I think. And he finally settled. What's up, JB? Him and my mom finally settled in the island of Camiguin Island. If you guys want to look it up, it's Camiguin, Camiguin Island. It's about 7 kilometers off of the big island of Mindanao. In fact, you could, if you Google Earth, the island closest to the Mindanao or Balingwan, you can see my dad's property. In fact, you could see my dad's grave on Google Earth. I sometimes miss him, and I do a virtual grave visiting. Say, hey Dad, I'm here. So anyway, I grew up in the island of Camiguin Island, and I had the best of worlds. I grew up as a native, but I came home to a very modern house of an American German. When I was at the house, everything was modern as far as modern goes. Electricity, running water, full staff, you know. We employed half of the barrio, my dad and mom. But when I was out of the house, I grew up, I played around with the kids just like the local kids did. So I had both worlds. At the age of, oh boy, 12 maybe. On the sixth, after I graduated sixth grade in the Philippines, then my dad decided to migrate us here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And before coming to Wisconsin, we had to go to, we went all the way to New Zealand, well, Hawaii, New Zealand, and then American Samoa, or Western Samoa. Visited the son of the king of Samoa, who lived with us back in the island in the Philippines. That was a pretty good trip. And then finally, my first time to visit Sheboygan, Wisconsin. That was back in 1979. Stayed in Sheboygan until about the end of 1983. And stayed in the Philippines until 1990 or 89. Somewhere around the ending of 1990, I went to truck driving school in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. And then been trucking ever since. Now, there's an issue of where do I belong? Do I belong in the American side at heart, or in the Filipino side? Gosh, I don't know. Neither, I guess. When I go home, there's always somewhat of a gap between me and the real Filipinos. They don't see me as a full-blooded Filipino. They treat me as one of their own, but there's always the reality that my dad is an American. So I'm called the mestizo. Yeah, I suppose if I was, I'm more comfortable, I guess, within the Filipino side than I am with. Well, first of all, I don't really know a whole lot of Americans here, other than the Americans that are. Well, first of all, I don't have a whole lot of American relatives that I know of. I mean, there are from my dad's side, but they're strangers to me. Even my own uncle, I haven't, I don't. It's not that I don't associate with him. It's them they don't associate with me. Let's put it that way. There's nothing more that I would love to do than to mingle with my dad's relatives and families. But I don't know, I guess it's just maybe that's the American culture, or that's just that's just the way how screwed up my dad's family side is. I don't know. There are a few, I suppose. Well, one in particular, I think, that I am close to, and that is my dad's cousin. But my uncle, no. I haven't seen my uncle in 18 years or even talked to him. He does get his mail mixed up sometimes, and his mail gets end up at my house once in a while. Some people call. I had the same name as he does. That's why I was named after him. And but other than that, it's we're relatives just by name, but we're not. Yeah, we're not family, I suppose. And as far as the Filipino side, it's yeah, I can feel the gap. I always have. I always, as much as I acknowledge and try to live like the real full-blooded Filipinos, there is that little certain things that I don't fully comprehend. Let's put it that way. Oh, it's not that I don't comprehend it. I don't know. It's just different. Even to my closest Filipino friends, there are traditions that I don't even really fully understand, I suppose. So how do I live? Which is the stronger side of me as far as traditions? I don't know. More, I'd like to think that I'm more of, I don't know, more like Filipino, I suppose, but then again, not really. Yeah, I don't know. I am on my own, I suppose. But I do try to live like Christ. I know I could never live that life fully, but I can emulate. There was a movie, a TV show that I think it was a Criminal Minds, that this particular serial killer was born half Mexican, half African American, and he didn't really, and half white, and he didn't really fit anywhere. He didn't really belong anywhere. Don't worry, I'm not a serial killer, as far as I know. AJ AJ's more, yeah. That's another contrast right there. AJ is more of an American than I am, or that I could ever be. Now, I don't know from her perspective. Oh, you know, she was born and raised here. She's never been out of this country. But she also realized, she also has the fact that she is born in a somewhat Filipino family, so, and her mom is definitely from the Philippines, so she's not in the one fullest sense of the full American kid. But then again, who is, right? Well, I don't know. I suppose with the internet readily available around the world, I think we're all influenced some way or another. Alright, we'll catch you guys later. As always, thank you for watching. Peace.